Alright, welcome back. This is M-Dog. We're taking a look at the patch notes for Russian Fishing 4 from November 26, and we're going to take a minute to read these, and then we'll go look in-game at the, especially the content change of Mosquito Lake is what we'll focus on visually here in terms of this video, which we'll keep pretty short. And that's the top line of the patch notes. In the setting, second one, I guess. Nope, it is in the first one. In the settings of the game launcher, players can now choose the download method to use. I haven't looked at that yet. I guess when you first launch the game, there's a setting now to choose what download method. A new version of Mosquito Lake is implemented. In terms of content, of course, that's going to be where the new content comes in. This was completely unexpected, by the way, for me. Now, I've been a little out of the touch with the game, just playing like once a week or so. And so I don't know if people who have been more in touch knew this was coming, but we have a new Mosquito Lake, apparently. The first thing I thought of was all of the changes that are going to have to be made in all of the guides and stuff out there. Implemented the new player qualification system, which, by the way, I briefly looked at that earlier, and it looks pretty cool. I'm interested to see kind of what everybody thinks about that, but it's basically something to work on a little more complicated than just like trying to fill up your trophies card. Changes in prices of alcoholic beverages, whatever. I mean, I guess it's just a little more expensive in silver for alcoholic beverages. Which I wonder if that's like maybe, again, trying to balance thing towards crafting. I don't know. Improve the physics interaction between lures and the bottom surface during reeling. That'll be really interesting to see what that means, what that feels like. Increase the catch rate of artificial rodent lures, which that's probably good. Anytime I've used an artificial rodent lure, it's been pretty much dead. But it also says the wear rate of those lures have been increased. How dramatic is that? I don't know. The amount of bait made by the recipe wheat grains has been tripled. That's good. The amount that you got from wheat grains seems so low compared to other things. Implemented transition to a new version of the graphics engine in the game. I'm excited to kind of see. I have spawned into Mosquito, but I haven't really looked around to see how much of a difference I can tell. This last one is not a throwaway. This is a big deal for some people, according to exactly how this plays out. But it says fixed. In some cases, the fish were attracted to spinning lures that were only propelled by the force of the water flow. What that says to me is that we're going to have to do some testing to see if that may affect drifting. You know, we were doing a lot of drifting in some cases instead of actually running the trolling motor. We would just drift down the rivers that had big currents. And it was quite fun. That may be a little different now if they have changed that. It certainly sounds like what they have aimed to remove is the strategy at Tunguska, where you would just stand on the shore of the little stream and just allow your spinnerbaits to drift down the current. And you could do amazing amounts of silver per hour doing that method. A lot of folks in other regions, I think, basically were just monotonous. I mean, just over and over, that's all they were doing. Like, that's how they were making all of their silver to get kind of a start once they got to Tunguska to save up for the expensive gear. I would guess that has completely changed that strategy, if I'm reading that correctly. Okay. So that's what the patch notes say for 11.26. I mean, again, you know, that last one can be a big deal. We have to see just how far it goes. But in terms of new content, unexpected content, this is new Mosquito Lake, right? Let me change this real quick. Let's see. We'll just go back over here for now. So let's take a walk around. The Mosquito Lake is completely different. I mean, so all the stores are still over here where you spawn, except there is one. The warehouse or whatever is over there across the little bridge there. But we're going to walk this way. I just want to kind of walk along the water. If I pull up this map again, if you haven't played in a little while, I mean, obviously it's a very different shape than Mosquito. And I guess when I first saw this, I wondered, is trolling Mosquito going to now be a little more viable for early spin fishing? which maybe I can find out next time I do a leveling series how true that is. But it's just a larger area, right? And some of the deep parts don't seem like they're as easily reached from the side, especially with low level stats and gear. And so it feels like with the shape of it here, though, maybe trolling will be a little better. I hope it is. I don't know. Trolling Mosquito has always been pretty lame, so we'll see. But let's just walk along the edge here. So we're going to walk all the way around. We'll see what camp looks like. It doesn't look like camp's going to be the spot for rough anymore. I don't know where the spot for rough might be. Maybe here. You get pretty close to 5 meters here. I don't know. But it's completely changed. Completely, we have got new content. I mean, anytime you start seeing this kind of stuff, you wonder if that might be a good place to drop some feeder fishes. Once we take a little lap of the lake here, we'll look at the new progression system real quickly, and we'll maybe throw some rods in just briefly. But we're coming up on camp now, so have just done like one quick little turn. We went from there to here. We're now here at camp. Same, things you would expect at camp, except I'm not sure that camp is going to be the prime fishing spot that it once was. Could be. Sometimes it's just random spots end up being really good, but there's another spot that looks interesting. So let's just keep looking here. So I guess right out here is going to be the 4-meter hole. So if I was trying to fish for anything that might be in the deeper part, this is one spot I might consider. Seems like we're a little closer here than we would be on the other side, but I'm not sure on that. It's close. Here's another spot that'd be worth trying. Again, you're thinking about carp species, maybe even tench. I don't know. That's interesting. And this looks great. We've got some lilies. And we've got the 4-meter hole not too far away. This could be a fun spot to experiment with some things, I would think. We have a little spot here that kind of goes out. Cast short for some stuff, cast a little longer for others. The big things with Mosquito, if it feels similar to old Mosquito in terms of the type of fish that you're catching, which I assume that the types of fish that are at Mosquito haven't changed, right? Yeah, it looks like we still have the same fish species here. Wait. I don't think catfish used to be at Mosquito. Am I wrong on that? Absolute records for Mosquito, they're all today. So catfish is new. And they get big, but not too big. Night crawlers. Okay, that's a little scary. I mean, I say they get big, but not too big. This is like one day of people fishing, and it's only up to 24 kilos. So that's a very small catfish in the big scheme of things. But for a level 5 player, let's say, you don't want any part of 23 kilos. Now, obviously, that was caught on a huge minnow. If you go down to quicker, it's already a 10-kilo drop, and then you see the fish pieces. Is anything else new here? I guess I should look a little more closely. Okay, golden tencher at Mosquito now. Castor and honey doe. I don't think mirror carp used to be here either. Yeah, mirror carp are new here as well. Tench and white bream. Everything else looks the same, but that is actually kind of cool. Mirror carp, golden tench, and catfish added to Mosquito. I'm surprised. I was not expecting, I was just going to check for a second there, but I was not expecting to see new fish species added. That is really awesome. Another good spot here. Where are we? So we're getting down here on the narrow part. It's still not a huge lake, but it's certainly going to be more interesting to look at than the old Mosquito Lake. Here's another spot. all back in this spot. I mean, this area here. Maybe you might even do some testing on the tench and golden tench back in this area. Fascinating. It's just so interesting. All right, let's keep going. So we should be, yeah, we're getting down towards the halfway point. Big tree overhanging here, moss in the water. I would definitely want to try here. Same with over here. Yeah, I feel like there's just going to be a lot more spots now, which makes sense. Bigger lake. All this spot back in here. I mean, we'd have to test, see how deep it actually gets back here, but this looks interesting. It reminds me of parts of Old Berg, really. This could be really good too. I don't know how shallow it is. I mean, it says 1 meter, but this is just fascinating. Okay, we've got a little natural sandy area here, which sometimes ends up being a decent spot to cast from. So much to test now. Again, just probably a really good time to start a leveling series. We should look at doing that, shouldn't we? So this is where I was wondering, just from looking at the map, I was wondering if right here would be a rough spot. It just kind of stood out to me as like, I wonder if there's rough biting there in that 5 meter hole, because there aren't, beginner gear is going to be a little challenging, I would think, to reach where it gets to be 8 meters. Maybe it's possible. It's always hard to tell when looking at a map, but what's funny is it's already hard for me when I'm doing a leveling guide to leave Mosquito. I just have always enjoyed Mosquito so much. If the fishing is good here, now it's going to be even tougher, I think, with those new species of fish and all these new spots to check out. Kind of rushing here, but I mean, again, more really cool looking spots. I mean, you've got all kinds of reasons why this right here looks like just prime fishing to me. It's also getting late, so the sun's going to be going down soon, so I don't want to be able to finish looking at it all. Now, does this path connect to something? Yeah, it connects to where the other buildings are up there. Most of them are not buildings that you can interact with. There's just one of the buildings up there is interactable, which you can just run over that cliff too. You don't have to follow the path. More cool spots. Man, Mosquito is so different now. So now we're kind of on the other side from the starting area. This dock, can you get on the boat? So, I mean, this is kind of interesting in terms of reaching like that 4 meter hole. This is another spot I would check for rough or anything that you want to try to catch deep, even like bream at night, because you could set up your feeders all the way out here on the end of this boat. It's kind of neat. This is cool. These cabins, very cool looking. That also looks good. We're almost done, so let me just pop up and show you the building that's over here that you can interact with. It's the workshop where you do, you can repair stuff. The workshop is the only thing that's way over here. Everything else is back where you spawn in at. Here's another little dock. Lots of little docks and stuff in this area. Now, I don't think you can get to that boat. And no deeper parts near here. This is a really cool wooden bridge. So what do you guys think? Do you think they're going to end up updating? I mean, I would have loved for them to have done something with Cottage Pond as well, but I just wasn't expecting this. This is terrific. Mosquito looks amazing. I don't know how it fishes. So this is the hot food thing. Once every 24 hours you can get free food there. Tackle store. I didn't really, my first glance at the tackle store, nothing different that I could see, and nothing in the patch notes suggested it would be. Hardwood store, there's the ATM, the grocery store is there. Administration building is somewhere. There's a cafe, vending machine. Cafe looks the same types of orders. None of the new species in the cafe currently, at least. There's the fish market where you sell fish. The boat station. And again, I do wonder if trolling mosquito will now be a more interesting thing to do. All right, so how close are we to the 4-meter hole over here? Not really. I like that spot over there. Let's just throw into this one that's close. We'll put some small hooks and like worms and red worms on, and just see if we see any, see if we get any rough on the line while I'm looking at the new qualification system. So it wasn't this one. It was this over here. All right, so we've got one line. Let's go really small hooks. We're just going to test for rough. So let's see. We kind of want to throw this way, right? And we'll just give it like a 60% cast. That was way farther than I wanted to do. All right. Really small hook, red worm, and I don't know. Let's do like 15, 14 meter clip. I think that looks more appropriate. Yeah, I think so. I think that'll be good. And yeah, we'll do worms on this one as well. And 14 meters. I like it. Looks sharp. Okay, let's see what we caught. First fish at New Mosquito. Okay, this is kind of cool because this actually is the first fish I've caught since the patch, and so we're getting a notification. This counts towards 4 task qualifications. Catch 5 different fish using feeder rod, 10 fish using a feeder rod or picker rod, 30 fish using a feeder or picker rod, and 75. So it counts towards the like multiple stages of doing that. That's pretty cool. So at 14 meters, it doesn't look like we have a fish on yet. I'm going to do 20 meters on this one because, you know, again, we cast it way farther than the other two. All right, let's just check our other lines. All right, there is one on... Oh, nope. I guess I picked it up too quick. It's gone now. Okay, let's look at the qualifications now. So we now have these qualifications, okay? And let me reposition while we're looking at this. So we have, currently we have these 7 categories. Classic, spinning. You see stage 1 looks very easy, and you're going to get progressively harder as you go towards stage 7. We've got jigging, which it's kind of weird to me that jigging is its own thing. So it looks like jig rig, 3-way jig, any of the jigging rigs, drop shot, Carolina or Texas, wacky rig. I mean, a gray char trophy using the wacky rig. So by stage 5, you're getting pretty difficult stuff, it looks like. And then all the way to stage 7. Light and ultralight. So again, it's going to be spin fishing. I was trying to make sure it's... Yeah, all the stage 7s are going to be ultralight. So early, I guess you can do light, and then at some point you go to ultralight. Telescopic rod fishing. What's the hardest thing on this? Catch a trophy whitefish at a depth of at least 4 meters. Wow. Bolognese and match fishing. Are some of them specific bolo? Yep. So again, this is going to encourage us to do lots of different types of fishing. So, okay, so now we can see our progress, right? Catch 5 different types of fish using a feeder rod. We're at 1 out of 5. That's funny. It's actually going to keep the fish we catch on there. And then down at stage 7, we've got some much more. I say much more. I mean, a trophy cooter Black Sea using a feeder or picker rod. That's just a rare. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. And then carp fishing. I do like that carp fishing has its own category. That feels correct to me in the way this game is sort of designed. You basically have to catch a lot of the rare carp trophies, and that's going to be interesting. All right. So, and I think what that does is basically, if you go all the way through stage 7, I assume you're going to get sort of a medal on your account that someone will see if they look at your account. So we're going to be getting this a lot for a long time until we really get to some of the more difficult stages of that thing. So I don't know. Maybe I do a video series of just like focusing on feeder fishing, going down the qualifications list as long as we can. Okay, so did that not get credit for that because it was the same species? Oh, wait. We need to go to feeder. Yeah, okay. So it's separate types of fish. I got you. Separate types of fish. Goodness. We got a puller. I would say this is not a rough. I think that is fair to say. Now we do have very light line on. Interesting. Okay. Got a little eyed. The Ides are upon us. I think this is pretty cool. Yeah, I could see. Okay, so it's not showing I have a fish on, and yet the fish is still pulling. Okay, it stopped pulling now. That was weird. This might be pretty fun. Let me look at, like, if I was going to do feeder qualifications, catch fish using catch fish 1.5 kilos, catch a bream using a feeder rod, fish weighing 3 kilos, trophy fish, 10 fish, 10 types of fish, any dough bait, catch a fish weighing 2 kilos using bloodworms, and a picker rod. I'm not sure. What are we going for there? 2 kilos on a bloodworm with a picker rod. Bloodworms get small fish so often. A trophy white-eye bream using a feeder or picker rod. So even stage 3, I don't have a trophy white-eye bream since they reset the trophies. So yeah, this would be pretty interesting. Yeah, maybe we'll do that until I'm ready to start the new leveling series. I don't know. I mean, I think I was right. I mean, now there may be lots of spots, but this does feel like a reasonably good place for catching rough. And so if you are a low-level player figuring out Mosquito Lake, this seems to be a pretty decent place to come catch some rough. And I assume that it's still going to be the case that at the cafe, there's often going to be really nice silver reward for rough orders. We'll see if that's the case right now. Yeah, 6 from 70 for 47 silver. So you could probably do that in one night. I mean, we have 2 already, right? I wonder how good the bream fishing at Mosquito is right now. Man, there's just so much to find out. Okay, hey, listen, thank y'all for watching. I'm really excited about the new Mosquito. I mean, I haven't been playing this game a lot, but this does kind of motivate me to want to either A, start a new leveling series, or B, and maybe this is what I'm leaning towards right now, is let's just focus on qualifications a little bit and just start making some progress down the qualifications. I got to figure out that bloodworm thing. That's a really interesting one, isn't it? All right. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.